This video is brought to you by Temu, and in case you're unaware of what Temu is, it's an online marketplace that sells practically anything and everything. They offer free shipping and free returns for up to 90 days. There is a link down below in the description box, as well as a pinned comment where you can go and click that link, download their app, start searching for stuff. And if you happen to be a new Temu shopper, we actually have a couple of promos for you. You could choose one of these two things. All you gotta do is scan the QR code that you see on the screen, where you can choose between a handheld vacuum cleaner with multiple attachments for just $2.24 or a sports smartwatch for $2.29. Now, I was curious as far as how Temu did everything, so they did allow me to buy a couple of items. It's gonna be hard to show you guys what this is, but I use these things on a regular basis. I collect action figures. I love posing them and putting on my shelves. I've actually bought these on other sites before, but this was way more affordable than any of the other ones, so I got a lot more of them, and it came with a mini screwdriver, so I actually can fix these and put them all together really quickly. Well, the box got damaged on arrival, which is a bummer, but interesting. I just had to check this out. It's a Miles Morales action figure, very accurate to the movie. Even's got his sneakers down there. Comes with his own action figure holder, plus tons of accessories. And I was shocked to see that they had some DC figures, so you already know that I had to grab a Nightwing. I mean, come on. How could you pass this up? I also grabbed this guy right here. I grabbed two different versions just because I wasn't sure which one I'd want, but I've been needing stuff like this for a while. It goes underneath your sink, and on top of that, they got pull-out drawers, so it's easy access. I was worried that it would be a little, flimsy or lightweight, but it does all feel pretty solid. Now, I know that this looks like a whole lot of nothing, but when I'm done installing it, it's gonna be really freaking cool, and I'm gonna put my comic books in there, so it's gonna look like a really clean comic book rack. It's gonna be freaking awesome. And then for all of my sneakerheads out there, this guy right here is way more affordable than any other ones that I've seen on the market as far as like shoe storage is concerned. Something that is stackable and that also opens, but has airflow to allow air to get in so that your sneakers don't dry up and become useless. They're also translucent so that you can see exactly what's in there, and I think that that's awesome. If you were looking for stuff that's affordable that you can use either throughout the house or just small collectibles like this, or things that'll help you display your collection easier and in a clean way, then Temu might be the option for you. All you gotta do, like I said, is just download the app down below in the description box. There's also gonna be a pinned comment. Scrolling through their app is gonna take you a very long time. You're gonna get lost in all of the cool stuff that they've got available over there. Just know that whatever it is that you pick, you're gonna be saving a lot of money. And with that being said, hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about something that I talked about before. In this video right here, I brought up this insole right here, and I did say I grabbed an old Jordan Jumpman shoe and a trainer on top of that for a different video for a different day. So here we go. Let's talk about one of the coolest training shoes from the Jordan brand of all time, at least in my opinion. We're talking about the Super Freak. All right, so this shoe right here is actually a retro of the original Super Freak. And when they retroed, they released in this box and everything like that. I don't know when these came out. I should have checked before we started talking. Pretty sure that says 08. I don't know, that one says 2010. What the f? Yeah, it might say 09. It's like a really heavy texture, and there's two dates on there. So the first one says 11/11. It looks like it says 2000, but I'm pretty sure it says 09. And then it says 12/28, unless that's a 9 too.
Oh, so the manufacturing dates. We started this date, we ended this date.
Right, for this shoe. But then this one has the same start date, but the end date is 1/12/10. So that's why I was like, what?
It really is
2 whole years?
A left factory, right shoe factory.
Right, like does this confirm the joke? Because that's just been a joke. I haven't been serious about that, but it sometimes feels like the shoes are made at two different places, because when you get them, you're like, how did this happen? But either way, this shoe retroed apparently around the 2010 timeframe. And at the time, they released in this style Jordan box, so some of you guys may remember this, some of you guys may not. But at the time, the shoe was actually not called the Jordan Super Freak, at least not anymore. Mostly because Randy Moss was no longer part of the Jordan brand, and that's whose shoe this is. But at this time, they called them the Jordan Cover 3. The retail retail price was $110, and I grabbed this shoe from eBay because I've just always liked these, and I thought that these were a really cool shoe. So I've been looking for them for a very long time, and I finally found a pair that was in a really great price, not in really great condition though. So this one right here is not wearable. Luckily, the outsole is very simple to fix, so I'll be doing that hopefully in the near future if I get some time to. This shoe though is really perfect, so I don't know if like, this one honestly looks like it was a display because it's super yellow, you know what I mean? So this one I'm pretty sure was like in a box, and this one was out on display somewhere and just kind of got blasted by the elements. But anyways, the shoe originally released as the Jordan Super Freak, Randy Moss's signature sneaker with the Jordan brand. And some of you guys might be thinking like, what the is Jordan brand doing making a football shoe? Well, at the time they were starting to really venture out into different areas of footwear, different sports and things like that. Football was one of them. This is actually the first football shoe or football trainer that the brand ever made. And on top of that, Randy Moss is actually not like foreign to the game of basketball. I know that everybody knows him as a pro NFL player, but he was actually teammates with White Chocolate. Jason Williams actually says that he's one of the greatest athletes he's ever played with, period. So I think that's really cool. But I really love these, and so I was glad to be able to finally scoop up a pair. Granted, not wearable, but we'll hopefully fix that eventually. And this was not Randy Moss's only signature shoe with the brand. He actually had 2 others, I believe. I actually could be a little bit wrong about that. I only remember 2 others. So if there was another one, please let me know down below in the comments section. But after this shoe, there was the Jordan Jumpman Mossified, which was a super cool looking trainer if you ask me. And then after that, there was the Jordan Jumpman Trifecta. That one I didn't like quite as much, but at the time I was like heavy on damn near anything Jordan brand was releasing, so I still like them. I still would say that this is the best out of his bunch, assuming that it's only 3. And yeah, while this 2010 retro ended up getting more colorways than what was originally released, I believe there was only 2. This guy right here, the white, black, purple, and then a straight up just black on black. Whereas there was some like white, black, and red and stuff like that. So there were some cool new looks for the shoe when they did eventually re-release. I'm pretty sure that Jumpman Bossig has them. So if you haven't seen them, maybe go onto his channel and check it out. As for the shoe itself, like I was saying before, it was Jordan brand's first attempt at a football style shoe. This particular one was supposed to be meant for turf and casual. And I don't mean casual as in like literally wearing them with your jeans, even though that is kind of the purpose, but they wanted it to be a ultimate trainer. So what you see on the outsole here is a segmented rubber outsole. The heel and the forefoot areas are actually separated, so there's a break in between. It's not one continuous slab of rubber. And you've got a traditional kind of like turf tread pattern right here where it's just a ton of nubs everywhere. So if you wanted to train in these, you could do that. If you wanted to wear these on the turf, you could do that. If you wanted to play basketball in these, you could probably do that too. Something like this was way more versatile than the cleated version. And the cleated version, I believe, did originally release back in 2000, but I think they're most known for being on Odell Beckham Jr. or something like that. I think he recently had a pair of these modified with a cleat. And I don't mean like super recently, but I just remember seeing it somewhere on the gram or something. But anyways, I think that the outsole is really cool. Right underneath that is a really hard shank plate area. It's a super cool setup. I know that it doesn't like seem like anything that's really cool, but I think it is, and it really comes up here. This is around the time frame of the Air Jordan 14. So while these released in 2000, originally 1999 was the Air Jordan 14 era, and this guy right here looks a hell of a lot like those rear brake lights that are on the back of the Air Jordan 14's design. They just kind of moved that over here. They turned it into the midfoot chassis, and it's just a really slick move, dude. Like the people that work at the brand currently can't seem to make a good performance shoe to save their life, but back then they were on some and it was awesome. Now the midsole, while you can't see it, well, it's because it doesn't exist. The shoe itself is kind of hollowed out right now. If you were to look inside, there's a full board last in there, so that's for extra torsion support and rigidity, but there's no actual midsole. So again, there's the rubber, there's the chassis. This guy right here is also rubber, and then there's just the upper and stuff like that. So this shoe is really designed in a really slick way. For those of you guys that were trying to like say that that's not the shoe that I can't read, but like tell me that doesn't look like 08, right? But all the numbers match up, so it's not like they are 2 different shoes from 2 different runs. Actually, these are a size 9, and that does not look like a 9. That does look like an 8. So somebody f***ed up in printing. But also, look at that cool ass design in there with the Jordan stitched in. That would chafe a ankle for sure if you decided to wear some no-show socks, but quarter cuts in these all day. Now on top of all of that, there is a gusseted tongue. It's not like a full-on sleeve, but it is gusseted right from here over. The really cool thing though is that there was this really dope cover in here, which I know some people don't like zippers and stuff, but man. I really do. Like on shoes, in certain instances, they just look slick. And this one was really cool because there's bungees on the side. So it's not gonna suffocatingly like attach itself to your foot once the zipper's on there. Like anybody that's worn the Jordan Jumpman J, when you clasp that stretch leather, which was not stretchy at all, and finally got it attached to your foot, not only was your foot dying, but good luck getting it off, because that thing, like I said, didn't stretch or anything. So it's really cool that they added bungees to this model. But anyways, when you open up the enclosure, you have a Air Jordan 14 and 13 style lacing system. So you got that internal lacing. And then again, you got that Jordan 14 style tongue. While it doesn't have the bar and the full on effect of the Air Jordan 14, definitely styled after. So I think that that's also a slick thing that they did. This shoe, I believe, has different tongue tops though. So instead of it saying the 23 that you see here on the actual retro, I believe the original said 84, which was his number back in the day and all of that stuff. If you move all the way down, you got a really cool rubber piece right here that has Jordan labeled on there. It also extends through the toe box right in the middle. That's one full continuous rubber piece. And again, I know that some people might look at that and be like, who cares? But that's money right there. That's a design element. That's a full-on tooling mold that they have to go and create in multiple sizes and stuff. So like the fact that they were able to make a shoe this intricate back then and have it retail for 110 bucks, that's awesome. But anyways, this shoe right here inside, because it didn't have the actual midsole, this was it. And this is a polyurethane insole. It's a little bit thicker than your standard insole because it's meant to be both the midsole and the insole all in one. And it's still intact, luckily, so that's really cool. And when you flip this guy around,
it's beautiful.
It's full-length Zoom Air. You could take this out and put it in almost any shoe. Granted, if it's the same shape and everything like that, you don't want it to be shifting around inside and stuff like that. The only downside is that it is a little bit thicker than your average insole, so this would mess up your fit a little bit if you were to take it out of this shoe and then put it into, say, an Air Jordan 3 or an Air Jordan 4 or something like that. I'm not saying it's not possible, I'm just saying it would alter the fit a bit. Something like this would actually work really well, though, in an Air Jordan 1. Or this guy, if you happen to have them and you wanted to do that, you know? Especially since these fit big. Now the materials on these, despite being a full-on performance turf trainer, it's almost premium stuff, like especially for back then. You've got a full leather enclosure, which is super dope. The back area is actually synthetic suede, so if you want to compare it to anything, it feels very similar to the original Air Jordan 13s. And I love the way that it's molded. It just looks awesome. Something that's really cool is this silver strip right here. It almost looks like the scoop and the ventilation point that's inside of an Air Jordan 14's arch. It's not an actual vent. That would have been awesome if they were able to accomplish that. I'm sure that was probably the original intent, and they were probably having some issues, you know what I mean? So they got to alter things and do what they can while still making it a performance shoe at the end of the day. There's an internal heel counter here along with some more leather, and then we got the Jordan Brand Performance logo. I always had wondered at one point in time, like, hey, how come sometimes the Jordan Brand logo is inside a circle and sometimes it's not? I was told by somebody from the inside from way back then that this was originally meant to be their stamp of performance apparel and product. So whenever you saw a Jordan shoe or product or apparel piece that had the Jordan logo inside of the circle, that meant that it was meant for performance. Not so much anymore. You just see that thing slapped on anything and it is what it is. It's like a cash cow. Now, if you happen to be interested in something like this, I would go true to size. This pair is not wearable, so I don't even know how I'm gonna do it on foot. Do I just do it and hope that the sole doesn't fall off?
Maybe just do one foot.
Well, that'd be weird. What am I gonna wear on the other foot? Those?
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, I would go true to size, especially if you're looking for that insole specifically and maybe not the shoe itself. Maybe you just want this. As a tip for anybody that is only interested in this thing and not the product itself, if you're going onto eBay or anywhere else where you might find something like that, make sure that you ask the seller to show that to you so that you know that it's intact and still full of air and it's not crumbling and stuff like that. Otherwise, you're just taking a shot in the dark and you might waste your money there. But with all of that being said, do we even have time for question of the day because of the promo that was in there? Like, let's not do a Mount Rushmore type of question. Let's do like an easy one. It's not an easy one.
I don't know.
Just go for it. It's fine.
It's fun.
Okay.
So if you could go back in time and watch one of MJ's games live, which one would it be? And know that as soon as you travel back in time, your past self wouldn't already know the outcome of the game. So it would truly be as if you're seeing it for the first time.
But I'm still a fan.
You're still a fan. It's almost like you got the golden ticket that day.
And I'm still me now, right?
Yes.
That portion of the memory would be wiped.
Yes, you wouldn't know
the outcome. But I would still know the significance.
You would know that you're getting to go watch Michael Jordan. That's what you would know.
okay, my mind immediately goes to that last game in Utah with the shot, the last shot, not the shot on Elo. That was years before in the Air Jordan 4, 1989 to be specific. But that shot though, that's the first thing that I think of.
You want your face somewhere on the background poster?
Bro, that would be sick. Like, who wouldn't want to see that moment live? Not only is it his last game as a Bull, it's his final championship. It's the final shot. You couldn't write that to be better. You know, like if you were making a movie, you'd be like, man, that never happens in real life, but it did. I know that some people might not agree, but I would like to see like some of them Wizard games. Not the bad ones, obviously, not the ones where he's a little sluggish, but like he was doing good. I know that a lot of people bag on that era, but dude was old, his knees were shot, and he was still up all the youngsters and man. I would actually like to see that all-star game where he missed that dunk in the Air Jordan 17 Low Lightning. I wonder if they're gonna use that in marketing. Probably not. The people working there probably don't even remember that happened. They probably weren't even alive. But yeah, I think that the last final shot would be the game. He's one of those players that has so many like iconic moments. Like if you were to draw out a timeline of things that he's done in his professional career, it's a lot. Every shoe is tied to one, you know? And so, not every shoe, but like, even though you kind of can. Like you can include dunk contests, the Air Jordan 1 against the Celtics in the Garden. Am I going to?
You're making this question too long.
Okay, sorry. With that being said, if you were able to go back in time and watch any game, but you didn't know the outcome, so you just knew that it was a game to watch from Michael Jordan, which game would it be and why? Sound off below, let us know. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, especially if you're still here. If you are, salute to you, man. You're a real one, because I know this was a long, just to get through the beginning, I know. But thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you guys. We will catch you on the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.